I found Luka Dončic's first 20 made shots in the NBA. The beginning of greatness is often hard to recognize, but here it was undeniable. Luka Dončic's very first 20 made shots in the NBA. Simple buckets, yet a signal of something far greater. This was not just scoring, this was the dawn of a new era. Luka Dončić was born February 28, 1999 in Ljubljana, Slovenia, not exactly where you'd normally expect a world-class basketball player to come from. His father, Saša Dončić, was a professional player and coach. His mother, Miriam Podobin, was a former hurdler and volleyball player. Luka was raised in a household where basketball wasn't just a game, it was a lifestyle. With athletic genes on both sides, Luka was destined to compete. But even then, nobody could have predicted what was coming. A legend was quietly taking shape. By the age of 7, Luka was already playing against kids several years older. Coaches noticed right away, not just his size, but his feel for the game. He wasn't the fastest, and he couldn't outjump everyone, but he saw a passing lane before they opened. He manipulated defenders with fakes that seemed far too advanced for his age. He thought 2 or 3 moves ahead, like a chess player, moving pieces across the board. At just 13 years old, Luka made a decision that would change everything. He left home, left his friends, left everything familiar, and joined the Real Madrid Basketball Academy, one of Europe's powerhouse clubs. While most kids his age were playing video games, Luka was going head-to-head with grown men in one of Europe's most competitive basketball environments. No family, no friends, just a teenager with a dream. The adjustment was brutal at first. New language, new culture, new expectations. But Luka didn't just survive, he thrived. By the time he was 16, he was already making his professional debut in the Spanish ACB League. And by 18, he was a EuroLeague champion. And in 2018, he became the youngest EuroLeague MVP in history. Scouts couldn't ignore him anymore. Still, many doubted whether his game would translate to the NBA. The common criticisms followed him everywhere. He's too slow. He's not athletic enough. EuroLeague isn't the NBA. But Luka did not flinch.
With the 3rd pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Luka Dončić from Ljubljana, Slovenia, and Real Madrid.
On draft night, June 21st, 2018, the Atlanta Hawks selected Luka Dončić with the 3rd overall pick. But within minutes, everything changed. Dallas had been locked in on Luka for months. Mavericks legend Dirk Nowitzki was approaching the end of his career, and the franchise was searching for a new face of the team. They believed Luka was the answer. So, before Luka had even slipped on the Hawks cap, the deal was in motion. Atlanta would trade Dončić to Dallas in exchange for the rights to Trae Young and a future first-round pick. For fans, the trade was shocking. 2 franchises had just swapped the cornerstones of their futures. For Luka, it meant something else. He wasn't just joining the NBA, he was stepping into the shoes of Dirk, the greatest European player of all time. In a city that had spent 2 decades worshiping its German superstar, the pressure was enormous. Could this 19-year-old from Slovenia really handle it? One thing was clear. The Mavericks had made their bet. The hype, the doubts, the comparisons, all of it was over. Luka Dončić was heading to Dallas, and soon the world would find out whether the gamble was genius or a mistake. October 17th, 2018, Phoenix, Arizona. The Dallas Mavericks opened their season on the road against the Suns. For Dallas fans, the headline wasn't the opponent. It was the debut of a 19-year-old rookie from Slovenia. From the opening tip, Luka showed why Dallas had believed in him. On his very first possession, he drove into the lane and slipped a perfectly timed pass to DeAndre Jordan for a dunk. His first NBA highlight wasn't a shot, but a play that showcased his court vision, more than impressive for a 19-year-old rookie. After that, the nerves started to show. He missed a couple of jumpers. He got caught on defense. Like any rookie, he was adjusting to the speed and the length of the NBA game, but he never looked rattled. Every possession, he slowed the game down, processing, measuring, and learning. And then, a few minutes later, he scored his first NBA points in a way nobody expected. Not a long jumper or a flashy circus shot, but a simple dunk. From there, his scoring started to come in. He converted a driving layup off a DeAndre Jordan assist and added a couple of two-point jumpers that showcased touch more than separation. He was 5 for 16 from the field, all twos, 0 for 5 from 3. But he also pulled down 8 rebounds and dished 4 assists. The box score read like a rookie finding his rhythm. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists in 32 minutes of his first NBA game. The Mavericks lost 121-100, but the final score obscured the bigger takeaway. Luka didn't explode into the box score with fireworks. He showed the fundamentals that had carried him through Europe: court vision, footwork, and the ability to finish in traffic. Those first 5 made shots weren't spectacular individually, but collectively, they told a clear story. Luka could contribute right away, and he knew how to play within the flow of a pro game. He hadn't silenced every critic yet. The three-point attempts missed, and the turnovers lingered, but something else had happened. Luka had arrived. Next, he would return to Dallas, and the American crowd would get a closer look. 3 days after his NBA debut, Luka Dončić returned home to Dallas to face the Minnesota Timberwolves. From the opening tip, Luka looked noticeably more comfortable, no longer nervous, no longer hesitant, like in his debut. In his first home appearance, he moved with poise, scanning the floor, setting up plays. His passing remained sharp, threading the ball to teammates for easy baskets. But this time, he also began to assert himself as a scorer.
Point eruption in the first. Off the inbound to the corner. Mavs have climbed the mountain. Down 15 in the first quarter. They've erased that deficit as Luka just tied it up.
But a guy like Butler that plays as hard as he does, Mark, give me that guy any minute. That's good.
And it is. That it is.
Over the course of the game, Luka added several buckets, floaters, mid-range jumpers, and his first three-pointers. Each made shot was more than just points on the board. It revealed a growing confidence, an ability to read defenses, and a maturity rarely seen in a 19-year-old rookie. By halftime, Luka had already scored in double digits, contributing not only with points, but with rebounds and assists that kept the Mavericks competitive. His scoring wasn't flashy, but it was efficient and intelligent. The patterns were clear. He was comfortable in the lane, capable of pulling up from mid-range and beginning to mix in the step-back jumper that would later become his signature. The crowd responded immediately. Every bucket drew louder cheers as fans realized they weren't just watching a talented rookie, they were witnessing the early stages of a franchise cornerstone. Luka ended the game with a strong performance, 26 points, 3 assists, and 6 rebounds, steadily moving him closer to the 20-shot milestone that would define his early NBA narrative. By the end of Game 2, Luka had proven that his debut was no fluke. The first glimpses of his unique style, blending EuroLeague finesse with NBA fundamentals, were now on full display. The young Slovenian had not only reached double digits in scoring, but had also shown the versatility and calm under pressure that would define his rookie season. Then came Game 3 to complete the 20th made shot. The Dallas Mavericks and Luka Dončić faced the Chicago Bulls. The rookie had shown glimpses of his talent. This was the moment where early promise would meet expectation. From tip-off, Luka played with no fear, looking like he was already a veteran in the NBA. He orchestrated the offense, finding teammates in motion, pushing the pace, and identifying scoring opportunities without forcing the issue. His earlier shots, floaters, mid-range jumpers, and step-backs, became more fluid and consistent. Throughout the game, Luka added several baskets, steadily bringing him closer to the milestone of 20 made NBA shots. What stood out was not just the points themselves, but the way he scored, hinting at the superstar he would become. By the end of the game, he reached his 20th made NBA shot, completing a milestone that spanned 3 games and marked the first chapter of his NBA journey. The first 20 made shots were more than just a statistic. They told the story of a rookie who wasn't just surviving in the NBA, he was beginning to assert himself as a rising star. From a teenage prodigy in Slovenia to a standout in Dallas, Luka Dončić had completed his first milestone with ease and with the calm confidence of a future superstar. On the surface, 20 made shots might seem like just another statistic, but for Luka Dončić, this milestone was far more than numbers on a box score. It represented a young player transitioning from a European prodigy to an NBA rookie capable of competing at the highest level. What made Luka's first 20 baskets so remarkable wasn't the number itself. He didn't rely on pure athleticism alone. Every shot was a blend of intelligence, timing, and precision. Each basket reflected years of learning the game, refining skills that went beyond physical ability. For a 19-year-old, achieving such a milestone in just 3 games illustrated something rare: maturity beyond his age. Most rookies take weeks, if not months, to find their rhythm in the NBA. Luka did it almost immediately, balancing scoring with playmaking and contributing in ways that impacted the entire game. His early success sent a message to teammates, opponents, and fans. This wasn't a player who would fade after a few games. He had arrived, fully formed, confident, and ready to influence the outcome of every game.
I have to publicly apologize to Luka. I'm saying I'm sorry because I said before the draft that this kid wouldn't be an impact player. And he's showing everything that I need to see that he's going to be a star in the making.
Analysts who doubted whether a teenager from Slovenia could handle the NBA had to take notice. Commentators began praising his basketball IQ, versatility, and ability to perform under pressure. For Dallas fans, these first 20 baskets symbolize hope, a glimpse of a franchise cornerstone capable of carrying the team into a new era. The reactions were unanimous. A rookie from Slovenia was no longer a question mark. Luka Dončić had shown that age was just a number, that experience could be gained quickly, and that the combination of skill, intelligence, and composure could translate immediately to professional success. By completing his first 20 made shots, he had made a statement to fans, to analysts, and to the league itself that Luka Dončić was a player to watch, and the NBA would never be the same.